Shaka Ilembe. Hi, welcome to the recap and the review of the second episode of Shaka Ilembe. Let's get into it. Episode 1 ended off with Queen Dombazi being accused by one of King Langa's sons of being a witch and killing her husband. And it was decided that an umhlahlo was going to take place to determine her innocence. In episode 2, we start off with this umhlahlo taking place, and Queen Dombazi drinks the liquid and doesn't die. She has been vindicated of killing her husband. But then we start to see that there was actually foul play involved, and that Queen Dombazi actually tampered with the umhlahlo results by swallowing something. Guys, I was eating when I watched this episode, and I just wish I could have been warned that there was just going to be nastiness involved. The scene where Queen Dombazi removes this thing from her neck that helped her to pass the umhlahlo actually reminds me of, I don't know if you guys remember that show Igazi and the Queen Mother Noma Rashia. That lady did anything and would do anything and everything to make sure that her son became king. She was a witch. She did commit murder, all in the pursuit of making sure that her son became king. And Queen Dombazi gives me the very same vibes. She has no limits to what she can do to make sure that Zwide becomes king. The war's about to begin and everything is going according to Queen Dombazi's plan. She has managed to get rid of King Langa and place her son Zwide in line to be the next king of the Ndwandwe clan. He's also favored by the people and is going to lead the people in this war against the Zulu nation to capture their land, take their cattle. And he said something about women as well. And even though we still don't know what Queen Dombazi's real motives may be, she has masterminded this thing to a T. So this war is taking place. And we're taken to the Zulu clan now, where they are preparing for this war. And poor King Jama is so stressed out about the situation. If you guys can remember in the first episode, King Jama mentioned that the Ndwandwe army is more powerful than any enemy they face. So it is quite a serious thing that they've waged war against them because they are a pretty strong army. The stress of this war takes its toll on King Jama and he collapses. And it's his collapse that summons the Sanusi, who comes with a prophecy.
Olibeni lwakho kuyakutshalwa iwundlu liyokukhula libe imbube enamandla. Ukubhonga kwayo kuyonanelwa izizwe, iyakuqeda izizwe yakhe izizwe. Ukuzalwa kwayo kuyoba isihlangu sokuvika izinkonjane.
I think it's pretty obvious that he's talking about King Shaka and the birth of King Shaka. The Sanusi warns King Jama that kaSenzangakhona cannot be part of the war and that he needs to stay alive. And because of this, King Jama sends kaSenzangakhona to evacuate all of the cattle and the women and the children away from their homestead and take them to a place further south past Elangeni. The Ndwandwe army is known to be very powerful, and because of this, the Zulus propose to go and find an ally that will help them fight in this war. This is where we're introduced to the fourth kingdom in the story, the kingdom of Oyengweni, led by King Jobe of the Mthethwa clan. We meet Godongwana, who's the son of King Jobe, and he's already referred to and regarded as king because of his father's deteriorating mental state. King Jobe suffers from some form of dementia. When the Zulus meet the Mthethwas to ask for their help in the war, King Mthethwa is not interested. In fact, all he wants to talk about is the fact that Umkabayi rejected his marriage proposal. But thanks to his son Godongwane and one of his advisors, he is persuaded to consider helping the Zulu clan, because if the Zulus get defeated by the Ndwandwe clan, it's only a matter of time before they also come for their land as well. King Jobe concedes and agrees to help the Zulu army only if Umkabayi can become his wife and agree to marry him. And even though King Jobe seems to agree to help the Zulu clan, we don't actually see them Tetwa warriors at the war. On the battlefield, we only see the Ndwandwe army and the Zulu army. And this is where we start to actually see the strategies that they're employing in the battle. The Ndwandwe warriors disguise themselves as Zulu warriors in order to lure the Zulu warriors out of the trees that are protecting them from attack. We also see the Zulu warriors using fire to barricade themselves and ultimately force the Ndwandwe clan to attack them from a specific area. So we don't get to see much of the war in the second episode, but I do think we'll see more of this war unfold. It'll be so interesting to see the Ndwandwe army in action because they're so highly spoken of. They're spoken of as this mighty and powerful army that is stronger than any army that they face, and I'd like to see that. Will the Mtetwa clan join the Zulu clan in their fight? We don't know. I guess that's something we still need to find out. In this episode, we also didn't get to see much of the developing love story between Nandi and kaSenzangakhona, but there has been some layups to the story. We see Nandi giving kaSenzangakhona her chastity beads, and kaSenzangakhona, now that he has to take the cattle and the women and the livestock past the land of Elangeni, is planning to meet up with Nandi. So we're going to see much more of that, I'm assuming, in the next episode or in the next few episodes to follow. So Shaka Ilembe season 1 episode 2. This is still a build-up to the story that's going to unfold. We're seeing many more players coming in to the story. Now we've introduced the Mtetwa clan, and we're seeing this war developing between the Ndwandwe and the Zulu. The story is still taking a steady pace, which I think is good because it's giving time to actually lay out all the different plots. This episode was more focused on showing us the preparations for the war, showing us how the Zulus are trying to create alliances to help them fight and win this war. So looking forward to episode 3. I think we're going to see much more of the war unfolding. And we're also going to see unfolding the love story between kaSenzangakhona and Nandi. I do actually think that the Mtetwa clan is going to come to the Zulus' aid, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's meet again next week for the recap and review of episode 3. I've actually opened up a Twitter page as well because I'm realizing that these reviews and recaps are coming out quite a bit of time after the episode has aired. So I'm going to be watching with you guys and talking about it at the same time on Twitter so that it's a little bit more relevant, and then we can do the recaps a little bit later on in the week, preparing to watch the next episode on Sunday. So this coming Sunday, let's talk about the 3rd episode of Shaka Ilembe on Twitter. I'll leave the link to my Twitter account in the description. Let's chat about your thoughts on episode 2 of Shaka Ilembe. What do you think about the plot, the story? What do you think is going to happen next? And what are some of the things that you agree with me on? What do you disagree with me on? And just what are your thoughts? I'd love to know. Let's chat about it in the comment section. I will see you guys on Sunday on Twitter and next week for the recap and review of episode 3. Enjoy the week.